No Big Ten tight end has caught more passes through 2 games than Wisconsin's Troy Fumagalli, 13 grabs already on the season. He joins us now from our studio in Madison. And Troy, you have really emerged here as Alex Hornibrook's top target. How does that change your mentality heading into a game, knowing that you're kind of the first option?
Yeah, just, it's just that little extra I got to have with me. Understand that Alex is looking for me, he trusts me, so just making sure I'm on, making sure we're on the same page, stuff like that, it's really important.
Where have you seen the greatest growth in Alex this year?
Just his maturity and comfortability. You see Alex out there, he's a lot more comfortable, he's poised in the pocket. I think he moves, a lot better than he did last year, so he's doing a great job of just finding open targets too. I think we feel comfortable with him back there.
You're being mentioned as one of the top 2 or 3 prospects for the NFL at your position. I do think it's amazing when you look at your journey. I mean, starting as a walk-on to go from that point to this point. Why do you think so many people overlooked you in the recruiting process?
I just think physically I wasn't where I needed to be at the time. Look back, I knew what I was capable of, but I think some guys didn't want to take a risk. Physically didn't know if I could put on that weight, if I could make that change. So that's kind of what a lot of them told me when I was getting recruited. But Wisconsin luckily took a chance on me.
Where do you think you have improved the most during your time in Madison?
Just blocking and reading defenses. I think just being comfortable out there is huge. Just being able, if you want to play for Coach Chris, you want to play at Wisconsin, you got to be able to block. So, I take great pride in it, put my hand in the dirt, and then and also just making plays when my name's called. I think that's something I tried to grow on and improve on, just always being accountable.
Let's talk a little bit about that blocking. Is that a mentality change? I mean, you were a pass catcher primarily coming out of high school, and now you find yourself in this position where you got to knock heads with some guys in the Big Ten who are big and physical. How big a mentality shift is that?
It was big. At first, Coach Anderson's staff, we were more of a spread offense, so I wasn't asked to do as much blocking. But, right when he got here, I knew if I wanted to get on the field, I had to block. So it's really just an everyday thing. You got to have a little grit to you and really a lot of effort. You got to throw it in there. You got to want it every day, even when it's not easy. So.
It's interesting you mentioned reading defenses. I know you spend some time with Jim Leonard, and people would probably think that's somewhat counterintuitive, right, for a tight end to spend some time with the defensive coordinator. How does he help you become a better player on your side of the ball?
Coach Leonard just has so much knowledge. He played in the NFL. He's one of the smarter football minds I've ever met. So just hitting him on things, asking him a lot about safety work, what leverage, what are they thinking defensively, and how could I attack that? He just helps me anyway like that.
Troy, we talked about this a little bit in Chicago. You are missing a finger. It was amputated right after you were born. And I know you've kind of talked about it ad nauseum, but what's the strangest question that you've gotten related to that?
Oh, wow. I got to think here. Not a whole lot. A lot of people will just ask me questions about if it affects me, doing daily work, and I kind of think it's so weird to me because I'm so used to it and things like that, and they really, they look at me, they're like, wow, and I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. So, yeah, I would say that's it. Nothing too crazy.
The NFL people, have they asked you about it at all?
Yes, a few of them have. And
what do you say?
I just, they asked to look at it, things like that. And then I say it's not a big deal. I'm so used to it, things like that, but nothing too crazy.
When people talk about college football playoff contenders, Troy, they don't seem to talk much about Wisconsin. Do you guys take that personally at all?
I do. I think, here we do a great job of just taking it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and having that chip on our shoulder. We got a ton of guys that played a lot of football here, so, we always want to be that one step better, instead of being that 10-win or 11-win team, we really want to step it up and be the best team we can. So I think the great thing is a lot of guys just already have that chip on their shoulder. They come in every day ready to work and really expect to be at the top.
Well, the next step toward being that team you want to be is a game against BYU this weekend. Give us the scouting report on the Cougars.
I think it'll be a great test for us. You know, going into BYU, first road game of the year. You know, they're a little bigger, more physical, 4 down front. So it'd be a great chance for us just to get in, you know, right before the Big Ten, getting those more physical game. And you know, they got a lot of athletes too. It'll be loud there, so it'll be a great test for us.
Troy Fumagalli, Wisconsin tight end. Troy, best of luck this weekend. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.